Good afternoon, this is Nicolas Trevino.
And this is Jesse Martinez.
And welcome to Let's Talk Writing.
Well, today it's been a long time. It's been a few weeks since we recorded an episode. But, I've been getting asked by people, when's the next episode? Especially because we haven't posted the last two episodes. But we're getting to that.
Yeah, we're getting to that. I really have to apologize to the audience. It's just, birthday week, just had to celebrate. Cut me some slack here.
Yeah, it's been very busy at work too, so I rarely have any energy to do anything.
Definitely. No, I hear you there, man. I hear you there. So this week, the topic we wanted to cover was plot twists. I know we went into plot. It was a general idea. But we want to cover a little bit more on plot twist, mainly because it's a topic that's been in our heads for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. How to properly do a plot twist, in our opinion, what's a good plot twist? You can have your plot going different ways, and there's always, maybe you want to shock the audience. You want to shock the people reading your book, or maybe you, like in the way that I use plot twists is because I love making sure that people don't understand, not that they understand, they don't get to guess the ending of the book before it even ends whatsoever.
Yeah, I think that the purpose of plot twists is to make the whole book an adventure, a page turner, something that the reader cannot put down easily. I mean, I guess that's the purpose of any writer aspiring to be a bestseller or to create an audience.
Oh yeah, definitely. And but you have to know how to properly and where to use a proper plot twist. Like if there's going to be a plot twist where somebody betrays somebody else, at least give him some sort of motivation to do it, not just you say to yourself, oh, I just want this guy to go ahead and kill someone, backstab him just for no reason. Like, there should be motive.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of, I just finished I know that I'm late to the party, but I just finished the first book in the Percy Jackson series, and
I know John loves that book, but go for it.
Well, hi to John, first off. Glad that you're listening to us. And, well, speaking about that book, there's a whole prophecy wedged in between that pretty much sets the character Percy Jackson on his quest. And there was one part of the prophecy, something about betrayal. I could really smell that from 10 miles away. I could really see who it was. The plot twist, like you said, there was motive, though. There was motive. There was a reason for this guy. Like, I don't want to get too much into spoilers. I'm already ruining it for anyone who hasn't read it as it is. But I don't know. I guess that also another part of what I'm getting at is that another part of plot twists is that you have to make sure that they're as inconspicuous as they get. Right now, if you're late to the party, I'm sorry. This is a huge blatant spoiler.
We should start doing that. We should at least put spoiler warning on our at the beginning of every show. That way people realize that if they're going to listen to this, we might go and give some examples from media that might get spoiled.
Yeah, exactly. Like in my following case, in the Song of Ice and Fire by George R. Martin series. On the third book, the Red Wedding is much more ominous than it is on the series. I actually saw the series first and I read the book. And the guy that I wrote, my buddy, the guy that I wrote the book with, he actually explained to me how certain items, how certain symbols appear that are pointing out to, what's his name, Robb Stark being killed. But they are not as conspicuous. Like, for example, I'm just going to go and quote Walter Frey on this. He says, yeah, we're going to celebrate, blah, 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 and then the red will run. And you're thinking, okay, maybe he's talking about wine, but we all know what happens, or at least we all should know what happens in the Red Wedding and what he referred to as the red will run.
I mean, it's like in the show. Well, for me, I didn't really truly see it coming. I mean, I kind of sort of did because I spoiled it myself I spoiled it for myself. I went and read up what was going to happen. But I mean, it was so beautifully displayed, especially when Roose Bolton puts down his arm and then, he motions to Caitlin like, hey, look down, and he's got the chainmail of like surrounding his body. He's wearing chainmail. Like, why is he wearing chainmail to a wedding?
Yeah, that was so chauvinistic. Like look at my piece, lady. Shows her piece of armor. But yeah, those are the elements that we want to explore on the ones that you leave in the story that you put. And the funny thing is, I found that when I'm writing, there are certain things that seem inconspicuous at the time, that seem like not relevant to the story, but they create a little sense of plot device. They start becoming plot devices, like little sentences. I don't know if I should talk about my second book. I haven't even finished it yet, but a little bonus for people. There's this character who's gonna die in the book, right? Oh, big spoiler. But anyways, this character is serving the imperial family, and on the book I said that he swears on his life that this will be the last time that he serves an imperial family, because he thinks they're snobby and condescending, without really knowing that this would be the last time he's a bodyguard at all. So in his mind, it's just a thought, like, I'll never serve a family, the imperial family again, or whoever's next, or their next of kin. Well, he will never have a chance to. And I think they're not wonderful, awesome, great plot devices that are like, oh, that's what he meant, but little things here and there.
Yeah, it's like me. One of my ultra big series that people know that I've told them about. I do have. That's the one that I was telling you earlier. Like, I want to keep my readers, if I ever do get to finish it, and I want people to keep trying to guess the ending, the answer to the whole book as to why all this is happening, what's the ending. And that's why I know my roommate had said, my roommate Oscar, he said, if you put in too many twists in there, it might just, like, I don't know, do something to the story that people might not like. But at some point or another, I understand that. But I just want to keep the people guessing as to why these characters do their actions. Like, I have a character, one of my main character's best friend. You never see it coming. You never see it. Both of his best friends, actually, his closest friends, they end up betraying him at one point or another in the story. But what we say about being inconspicuous is that you don't see it coming. And that's the way twists should be properly written, that you don't see them coming. Like, as much as I hated the movie so much, there was a movie called The Boy recently. And the thing is that I lost track of that movie. I lost interest in that movie about a quarter of the way in, because it was just bad. But then there was an interesting plot twist at the very end, and I never saw it coming.
Before that, spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. I never thought I'd see this kind of twist coming, the whole movie is based on this doll being possessed and killing people or haunting this mansion. And yet at the very end, the big twist is, spoiler alert, cover your ears if you're still wanting to watch this piece of trash. The whole spoiler is that it was never really a doll, that the kid never really died, and he's just this big, unintelligent brute living in the walls and in the basement of the story. But by that point in time, I had already lost interest in the entire flick. But that was a very interesting plot twist, and I never saw it coming. There was no clues leading up to this big plot twist.
You know what? Actually, right now that you speak about that media, about movies, say what you want, and I know that he did a big fiasco in The Last Airbender, and whatever anyone might think about this movie, The Visit, spoiler alert, The Visit had a surprising twist, because the whole media, and I mean the commercials, everything, they pander into something more mysterious. They veer you towards something more mysterious than what it really is. So it's like a plot that is hiding in plain sight. Pretty much, these grandparents are going crazy. They're treating their grandkids in a weird way. Pretty much, they're going batshit insane. And as the story progresses, like, they start doing more disturbing, more creepy things. At the end, it turns out, before that, there's a little element there where the grandma plasters some sort of cookie paste on the webcam of of the granddaughter's laptop. And when they finally get to clean it, they show the mom who they've been speaking to through this Skype or whatever. They show the grandparents, and she's like, "Those are not your grandparents." And they discover that the grandparents were killed in the basement. They were hidden in the basement after they had been killed. Jesus. Such a simple twist that it's like, how could I have not guessed that? But because the whole media veered you towards that, it veered you towards it's something mysterious or something more than human, and it wasn't. It was just a bunch of crazy people who destroyed a family pretty much, or well, pretty much ended the life of two people and impersonated them. So common, so simple, and I thought it was a perfect plot twist because you could have guessed aliens, demons, this and that, and it was something like crazy people. So normal, but it delivered. It delivered. It was on point.
Yeah, I mean, before the before the fiasco with The Last Airbender and the fiasco with After Earth, which, by the way, I don't care what a certain friend of mine says, it is dog shit. And yes, I don't think I've ever cursed on this podcast, but that's how much I don't like this movie. But I mean, After Earth and all that stuff, before his downfall, he was amazing at writing twists. And like I said, you have to be subtle about the twist, not throw it in people's face. And it comes down to everything. Every single action that goes on, no matter what it is, like if you throw it at people's faces and you kind of try to shove it in there and shoehorn it in, then I'm gonna lose interest. And that's what a good plot twist shouldn't do. A good plot twist, you don't expect it. And maybe you do. Maybe you overanalyze everything and you start saying, hey, maybe this is gonna happen, and it does happen, and you get your wish granted.
Yeah, it's also an exercise for the mind, for people who are into mystery and solving problems. I actually went to see another movie that I thought was decent, that I thought was good, from M. Night Shyamalan. I went to see it with a friend who likes to watch CSI and all that stuff because he likes to solve the crimes and how it happened and who did it. Pretty much, he's a whodunit nut, pretty much. The movie that I'm talking about is The Devil, or Devil, I don't know.
Yeah, it's Devil.
The one with the one where they're stuck in an elevator. And spoiler alert, ever since the beginning, he's like, it's the old lady. It's the old lady. When the lights go off, because that's the little device that they use, the lights go off and then they go back on, and the people stuck in the elevator die one by one. And he saw the dead grandma. Her neck was, I think, twisted or something like that. He's like, oh man, I was sure it was her. I was sure. Yeah, when he's alone, and well, who was it? The lights go back off, go back on. The grandmas, the old ladies, like floating, and her eyes are black. He's like, see, I told you. He was excited, but that's what it is. Also, it's an exercise for the mind. Like in literature aspects, in literature concepts, it helps people develop. The use, like analyzing. It helps analyzing plot twists. Helps people develop the use of plot twists. And I don't know, I think it makes you an overall, at least in my personal opinion, it makes you an intellectual overall. It makes you a smart person to be able to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I try to figure out twists, and I try to figure out where the story is going. And at the same time, I try to enjoy the movie. And that's why sometimes I can enjoy the movie, especially if it's, if it's something that I can pretty much predict throughout the entire showing. I'm like, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and then this other person's going to do this other person's going to do that. And boom, there's a plot twist. And, I mean, it does get boring. It does, but seeing the same plot twists over and over again, it's like, oh, that guy's gonna betray him. Oh, that girl's gonna stab him, and is gonna set the snowball in motion. And like I said, be subtle. Like I think one of the best creative tools out there is subtlety. Subtlety is one of the most amazing things ever. You can be really subtle and really tell a good story before just twisting the knife and then realizing, oh my god, this is happening instead of this. I wonder how it's going to end now. Or I wonder where this twist is taking the story.
I think that my analogy is going to be a little harsh, and I don't mean to offend anyone by it, but subtlety works like an infestation, so to speak, what are they called? An infection. In the beginning, it's a little rash, it's probably a little swollen, and little by little, the pain starts growing and growing and growing until you're already wrapped by it. You're already what the hell happened? I'm already on my sick bed. I'm devastated by it. That's the wonder of subtlety when it comes to plot twists. You give them a little itch, then a little more, and then a little more, but they never expect it. They never know. You put it in a place where they'll never, and before they know it, they're already wrapped up in something that's blowing their minds. Subtlety, man. Subtlety is key, definitely.
Yeah, especially because, like I said, if you shoehorn it in, then what's the point? What's the point of shoehorning in a plot twist just because you think it's cool? Just because oh man, I hope like people realize, like people aren't gonna realize the motivations of the character if you just shoehorn in a random twist, like no matter what it is. Like let's take for example the Maze Runner. The Maze Runner. I never saw it. I only saw I saw the Everything Wrong with It on YouTube. But it was such a disappointing twist that they finally get through wherever they're doing, and then they get to random station number whatever, and it turns out they've been experiments this entire time. I never like I said, I didn't watch the movie, so I don't know. I honestly don't know at first. So but at the same time, and now they did that same thing in the latest Attack of the Titan movie, the live action one. And they put in this unnecessary twist to the series by doing it in a live action movie, where I'm just like, I honestly don't. Why is this happening? Like, are they hoping to leave it open for a sequel? Like, what's the point? Like, this should have ended it, especially because the movies were bad.
Right now when you were talking, going back a little
Maze
to the
Runner?
Maze Runner, the movie always seemed like it was an experiment. They send you kids and everything, like, it looks like a lab. Like, I don't even know if that's really a plot twist or if it was just written there, like, you know what's going to happen. You're an
I think
experiment.
the plot twist was the lab was empty, wasn't it?
Oh, well, once again, I didn't, like you said, I didn't watch it, not in its entirety. But of course, it looks like they're experiments now. If the lab is empty, then who's manning things?
Yeah,
or whatnot?
I think that was the little twist. The fact that nobody was taking charge of that lab or something. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen that video.
Yeah, which pretty much makes the story, well, that makes it on really not a plot twist as a device or anything. Not to call a judgment on what you're calling plot twist.
Oh no, hey.
No, I'm just saying that if it was intended for that reason, then it's just ridiculous because okay, no one's operating it, and kids are still what's happening there? What's the magic? Well, of course, there's 3 other books.
Yeah, of course it it goes into the bigger picture.
Yes,
but still, like I said, I haven't read the books. I mean, God, it's been a long time since I read the books. The last book I read was The Hobbit, and that's because a friend bought it for me, and it's the last book I've actually sat down and read. I'm still reading The Martian. I'm still reading The Last American Vampire, and so I mean, like I said, the last book I read was The Hobbit. I haven't read any of these young adult novels. I know there's plenty of twists and turns in these books and the movie. Like, okay, let's go. Let's talk about a very, very. I don't understand. Like, I know I watched the video that said they call it one of the best plot twists of all time, and then I saw another video where it called it one of the worst plot twists of all time. Twilight, the very end of Twilight. I don't know if like spoilers.
Girls who had read it had told me about it. Spoiler alert, but I don't know if you're interested.
Yeah, the whole fighting at the end, the brutal end to end all fights. And then, big shocker, it's just a vision. Like, to me, it's like, why? Like, that to me takes away from the entire story just for them to have a happy ending. Like, ugh.
And not only that, like, it was trying to pander. I think, like, first of all, I think it was trying to pander to another audience. I think it was trying to pander to guys who wanted to see action and wanted, oh, there's going to be a big action scene. But never mind. It was all in the mind of the guy, and he understood reason. You know what? First off, I don't mean to attack anyone, any writer, anyone in general, but I call bullshit on that because even if he would have seen the vision, that vampire was ruthless and fearless. And if we as humans still would take our chances, I'm pretty sure the vampire would say, you know what, I'll take my chances and even die. Why? Because he saw the damage that he will cause, and even if we were vampire or whatnot, as humans, as people, we think if no one can have this, no one. If I cannot have this, no one will. So he would have still fought to the death and try to see who would die. That's what I don't like about it. That you made me see reason with your powers. Screw that.
And not just that, but I mean, if he saw the future through this vision, don't you think that he could be like, "Oh, now I know what not to do." Like,
Yeah, exactly,
I don't care if it's a vision; it's already predetermined. But the future can always be changed. So he could just look at her and be like, "I still don't care, and I'll just change my battle plan and keep going with the fight."
Now you can interpret that the guy said, "Oh, okay, yeah, peace. We are not going to fight anymore. We're good." And then he just went to Hitler and plotted how to assassinate them in secret because they already showed him all a direct confrontation.
And then
at that time.
And then there would be another vision of them seeing all this and all that, and it just keeps going and going. But like you were saying, like the guy just brutes and like, all right, I guess I'm not gonna fight anymore. You completely changed this character in a matter of seconds just to fit your shitty vision. Because like, oh my god, like this guy's supposed to be ruthless. He's supposed to be vicious, aristocratic. What makes you think that he's gonna out of nowhere be like, okay, you showed me what I wanted. That changes my character. No.
To be honest, I would have picked up the books if that would have been the actual ending, where everybody started dying and whatnot, and there was a brutal battle. I would have picked up the books. I would have given it a chance. Not a call on Stephanie Meyer's writing. She has great grammar from what I've seen, little snippets or whatnot. She knows how to write, but that was the cheesiest plot twist ever. That was the cheesiest ever. But keeping in the matter of the topic, and so that we don't spend a lot of time on this topic.
No. I say we dedicate one entire episode to just making fun of this movie. I'm kidding, of course. Go for it.
I might take you on that idea, man. Like, it sounds like something that we should all do. I think it's our mission to the world too. But anyways.
Anywho. One last jab at Stephanie Meyer. You said she's got good grammar. I wonder where she puts that decent grammar in between all the sighs and the grunts and the fact that all the shit that I understand it is Kristen Stewart the one who did that, but whatever.
What I trying to say is that she has good grammar in the sense that she writes the car is blue without misspelling it. Like pretty much like she knows how to make sentences.
She knows how to use spell checker.
Exactly. She doesn't need she knows exactly. She
anyway, let's continue.
Yeah. So now I guess we have to go to the other side of the spectrum and
good plot twists?
Good plot twists, exactly.
Okay,
those are scarce.
Let me talk about a good plot twist. Actually, I know I already covered one from The Boy, and this one I'm pretty sure it's not truly a spoiler alert because it is a Korean film, and it's one of my favorite Korean films. It's called No Tears for the Dead. It's on Netflix. Highly recommended. Even though I'm about to pretty much spoil it.
It has purpose.
Yeah, it has a great it has a great twist to it. Like, you got this guy who is a hired killer. He's supposed to kill. He's supposed to go down and kill these people. He accidentally kills a little girl in the very opening of the movie. He kills a little girl by accident. He goes depressing and he wants to quit. But now they're like, hey, you need to go kill the mother of this kid because it's your duty. And you find all these other things. And that's when he decides, you know what? I'm not gonna kill this woman. Instead, I'm gonna help her get rid of these other guys that want to kill her. So, anyways, at the very end, I never expected it either. The fact that he's guiding this lady after the very final battles. He's guiding this lady and tells the lady, like, there's a man coming down the stairs. I need you to pick up that shotgun. I need you to point at him and pull the trigger and kill him. And she's like, no, I can't. And then all of a sudden she's like, he's the one that killed your daughter and that killed your husband. And I was like, oh shit, especially because at that point in time, his best friend is walking down the stairs and he told her, I'm going to go kill your woman just to get back at you. And so I'm like, oh my god, like this is genius. Like this is, he's going to get the girl to kill the best friend. And then all of a sudden, elevator doors open and it's actually him walking out. And he points his hand at her like it's a gun. She shoots at him, and he gets redemption. Oh, self-redemption. Like, he gets peace. Because the woman that he pretty much screwed over by killing her husband and her daughter, you know, she finally got the
Her revenge.
yeah, exactly, her revenge without her knowing who he was because she never saw his face. So I mean, I never expected that. Like that's an amazing twist to me.
So the balance of the universe is restored pretty much.
Yeah.
It sounds good. I mean, it is a good plot twist. I like that because there's a redemption element into that. The one that I want to talk about, I don't know. There might be mixed emotions about it because of the premise of it. But I think it was decent. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
It's all right, man. Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry. Technical difficulties. Anyways, the movie War. Spoiler alert. At the very end, well, no, let's not go there yet. Let's explain it. It's pretty much this cop partnership. These two cops, and one of them is, I guess, an American, Irish descent. I don't remember, and an Asian man, an American of Asian descent. They bust this Chinese or Japanese operation. I don't know if it was the Triads or the Yakuza at that time, but pretty much they are on a wanted list after this. Throughout the story, the cop, the one with Asian descent, his house gets invaded. You know, they all end up dead, and the other cop, his partner, he ends up trying to find his killers and stuff. He ends up trying to avenge them. It's like, okay, you know, the whole hero's quest and whatnot. And then this other character portrayed by Jet Li comes out and he starts messing up first with the Yakuza or the Triads, one of the two. He's working for the other. I think, well, Jet Li probably working for the Triads, messing up the Yakuza. But then at the end, he messed up the Triads too. Then you're like, well, what the hell? What's going on? Why is he such a two-faced? Turns out that this was the cop that was supposed to die. He killed the assassin sent to him, which was also played by Jet Li. And then he got a face change, a face operation. And he ended up destroying the whole rig. But here's the thing. Here's the other cool plot. He finds out later on that the guy who put a hit on his house was his partner.
Wow.
To save himself. He thought they were just going to scare him a little. He never thought they were going to kill him. And, well, he ends up killing him. So it's a little plot. The whole face change operation, it seems like a last minute thing. Oh, look, I killed the guy and I got a face change so I can avenge my family. Okay, I'll give you that one. It might suck, it might not. In my opinion, it was alright. But the whole other cop trying to redeem the death or avenge the death of his friend, to redeem himself because he was the one that caused his death, was on point. I thought that was amazing.
Yeah. And like I said, you know, you want to be, you know, how does all this pertain to writing? You know, it's just little opinions here and there on, you know, that way you keep your reader engaged by making sure that the plot twist isn't out there and in your face or isn't pointless. Because that's, like I said, that's the problem with a lot of plots, is they're just pointless. Like, it doesn't add anything truly to the story. It's just making another villain. It's just making another uncomfortable situation. You know, and what's the point? And like I said, if anything to me that pertains to writing, like, yes, you can have some random events going on, but, you know, in the bigger picture, at least have some, like, if it doesn't pertain, if it doesn't add to the story, then really that's just clutter, and it should, you know, be taken out, especially when it comes to plot twists. Like I said, if it doesn't add to the story, then what's the point?
Especially if it comes to plot twist. If it doesn't add to the story and it's a plot twist, it's clutter. It's not in a metaphorical way. It's garbage. You need to take care of the garbage. So yeah, there are certain things of plot, certain elements. Maybe if it's fantasy, that you can add that clutter because it adds flavor to the world, and you're getting, you know, enticed with the whole world. But even in fantasy, in whatever genre you want, even if it's a poem, I don't care. If you're gonna use plot twists for the sake of using plot twists, it doesn't feel natural. It feels abrupt, just like garbage. I'm sorry, I mean this in a metaphorical. I'm not saying that, oh, I'm criticizing you guys who do it as garbage. No, just really look at your work of art in that sense. You know, do I really need this? Do I really need that? And especially on plot twist, because plot twist is part of your message. Remember that we are writers because we want to send a message. We want to probably tell a story, whatever the message is It could be as simple as telling a story, or trying to incite this new idea on the future generations. Just remember that plot twist and the way that it's managed. It has to serve a purpose. It has to definitely serve a purpose, and it could be whether to enlighten readers and to put a close to the story, or to make your point across. But it has to definitely make sense and have no holes, which another topic that we can talk about.
Yeah, plot holes. Yeah,
definitely
plot holes, man. Plot holes are a huge thing. But yeah, going back to twists, yeah, like if it doesn't add to the story, then what's the purpose? What's the purpose? What is the message that you're trying to send with this plot twist? Is it that you want to make sure that maybe the main character is gonna feel lonely afterwards? Are you gonna make sure that the main character or a set of characters feel extremely betrayed, and they just decide to say screw this, and they go against the system? Another interesting plot twist. The person it was really set in a different timeline. Like that's to me that's a very interesting plot twist. You're thinking that this story is set in one timeline, and in reality it was set in the future. In reality it was set in the past. In reality it was set in this.
Once again, to quote Shyamalan, The Village.
Yeah, The Village. That
was a good one. Spoiler alert. It's Victorian era.
Yeah, there's Victorian village. Era, but they're set in the normal time or something like that.
Yeah, they were in current times. Like there was this village that was in the Victorian age, in the Victorian era, and it turns out that they send this blind girl out. This whole commotion happens. Spoiler alert. They send her out to the world. She's blind, so she cannot see what's going on. So they send her out to get help. A truck passes by. They're living in a national park, and they're living like pilgrims, just because there were people who want to live like that and raise their families like that. Pretty cool twist. I don't know if you want to add anything else.
Not really. I mean, like the key points in this talk were just, if you're gonna have a plot twist, make sure it makes sense. Make sure it adds to the story. At least make sure that it adds to the story, and don't make it this big convoluted thing. As long as you know that it's gonna lead to something in the bigger picture, and it makes sense. It's not clutter. It's not forceful. Hey, you go for it. You do however many plot twists you want. You want to make the guy a woman the entire time trapped in a man's body? Hey, go for it. But as long as it serves a purpose.
Yeah, tips that may work on this is write the ending out. Work your way backwards so that the pieces fall in place. Write the plot twist separately. Never forgetting that it's part of the story, right? Do little things where you connect the jigsaw pieces before you actually put the puzzle in there, like all scrambled up. Little tips to work on plot twists.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's gonna pretty much wrap up our episode. We'll try to upload them as soon as possible. We're gonna try to upload them to YouTube. That way it's much easier. That way, if you want to comment, you want to like the video, hey, it's gonna be out there, and we'll share it with as many people as we can. And if you want to share it to other people, hey, be our guest. Help us out. Throw us a little bone.
Yeah, definitely. We want to reach as many people as we can. Help them out, like we've been saying since the beginning. You can also find us in Laredo Writers Quorum on Facebook. We'll always be posting there as well. If you don't want to go into YouTube, or you feel like you're on Facebook and you feel like it's quicker, then you can find us in Laredo Writers Quorum, where we dwell pretty much.
Yeah, we'll post every now and then. And like, if you want to join the group, hey, just send us a request to join the group. Either Nicholas or I will accept you into the group, and But I think that pretty much does it for today's episode.
Thank you very much for listening. We promise to be with you as soon as we can. Like Jesse was saying, life gets in the way, birthdays get in the way. For any Fallout fans, For Sure gets in the way. A little secret confession. But we will be with you. We love doing this. We love our audience, and we want to help. We want you to contribute. Let's keep this going. I'm loving this. I'm definitely loving
especially because, I'm here talking to you guys. My mouth is engulfed in pain because I had a tooth removed earlier this week. But yet, you guys come first for me. And, I'm like I said, it's just, we want to help people out. And we want to make sure that, there's no shyness between us writers. And we can reach out to other people.
Yeah, definitely. We have to build that community. We have to build that communication. Well,
Well, this was today's episode. Remember, it's plot twist, and on behalf of Let's Talk Writing, my name is Jesse Martinez,
And my name is Nicolas Trevino.
and we hope you have a good rest of the weekend.
And a wonderful evening.